This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Map First Impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at the Angevin countryside. This map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website, and as of the 1.0 release of this map is available for PC only. Now, when you download this map, there are several required mods that you need to download with it. I suggest you click on the link in the required mods section of the mod hub page. What you need is in the cow barn, a FS09 sheep husbandry, crops and machinery storage, a weigh station, horse stable, cow's barn, grain quid storage, placeable farm silo, and the modern pig's barn. All of those are going to be required. If you do not download those, your map is going to look much different than what we have here in our video today. So it says, welcome to the beautiful map Angevin. This is a realistic French map that comes from villages near Augers. You have 5 farms and a CUMA for your pleasure. So I think the CUMA is kind of like an arable farm. I'm thinking the fields and meadows should be easy to manage with small, medium, or big equipment. Also a cowshed, pigsty, sheep pen, and riding stable. Create this map for Farming Simulator 19 is what the map author says. Go ahead and jump on in, and we're going to have to go ahead and make sure we pick the right mods that we need to activate. So we have the cow barn, crops machinery shed, cow's barn, sheep husbandry, grain quid storage, horse stables, modern pig's barn, placeable farm silo, and the weigh station. So that's 1, 2, 3, 8, 9. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Yep, that should be all of it. Okay. Go ahead and pull up the log. I did load this map up earlier with straw harvest and seasons. There was no problem at all with those loading up. This map does have a seasons mask. And here we are. We load up in our backyard, or basically a backyard of someone's house. This isn't necessarily at any particular farm. Go ahead and take a look at the map. Scroll out, we can see this is a fairly small map with respect to what would be a standard size map. Would encompass where about that size. We do have all of our standard crops available to us here on Farm Sim 19. And if we take a look at the lands area, this is new farmer mode. You'll see we start with no land whatsoever. Something else that's important to note is land is cheap. So let's take a look at all the various farms. We have a sheep farm, $7,000. Horse farm, $8,000. CUMA, arable farm, if you will, $3,600. Have a pig farm up here, $1,100. Cow farm, $4,100. And another cow farm, $3,700. This one does have a sleep trigger. But it's interesting that we don't own any of this land in new farmer mode. You start with some equipment. Interestingly enough, not at the farm that has our sleep trigger. We have it here at this cow farm right here, which is right down the street. So are we to assume that this is supposed to be our house for this farm? But again, we don't own it at the start in a new farmer mode. If you do load this map up in Farm Manager or start from scratch, once again, you still own no land, but you also own no equipment. Since you have to buy land already, you might as well just pick Farm Manager or start from scratch. Buildings are all still there, and you'll have lots of money, and the land is cheap. Let's take a look at some of the bigger plots of land here. So field 20, $22,000 for 14 acres, $20,000 for 13 acres, $27,000 for 18 acres, and then we have forestry, 28 acres at 44,000, 81 acres at 125,000. That's the biggest plot on the land of the map and the most expensive. But farmland, dirt cheap. Let's go back here to our prices screen. We do have 2 grain sell points on the map for most of our crops. We have cotton, a sell point for cotton, 2 sell points for eggs, sell point for wool, 2 sell points for milk. No sell points listed for wood chips, sorry. And then we have hay, straw, grass, and silage sell point. There isn't a biogas plant on this particular map. Into biogas play, well then, you might be looking for a different map already. So while we're already up here, let's go ahead and take a look here at the animal area. Animal buy area. Multi-levels here going on. There's our animal buy area. And let's go ahead and kind of just run down to the closest cow farm that we have. I have to say, this map is not without problems. Not really sure how it got through Giants testing, because it doesn't appear that any of the silage bunkers operate properly. They have triggers, but they don't seem to come up. This is one of the cow farms, and let's go ahead and just buy all the farms. Okay, prove that it's not something that we have to buy. On there, there, here, and then one more. So we've got our, I guess, our start farm down here, if you will, even though we don't have starting equipment. We've got some sheds. Starting equipment, which we're going to take a look at here in a moment. Kind of jump the shark, if you will. So right here we've got a cow pen. We have our slurry point. We have our water trigger. And we activate animal pen extension when we do these videos to help us identify where the water trigger is and see if the map just so happens to include custom support for the animal pen extension. Side here we have our food and crawl triggers. Our cow buy point, deliver point, 100 cattle in this particular pen. We have our milk trigger here. And then we have what we would think would be our silage bunker. When we walk up here, there's nothing. I don't get anything in the F1 menu. Back over here and just... We do have our F1 menu that comes up. Okay. Up. Coming up there. When we come over here, nothing. And there's another silage bunker at another farm. Does the same thing. If we look, there is a trigger box there. That should work. As soon as we walk inside that box, we should get the compacting message in F1, but nothing. Silage bunkers on this map appear to be broken. First, I thought maybe it was because we needed to own the farm. We couldn't compact the silage, but that is definitely not the case now because we definitely own all of the farms. All right, so let's get back to our normally scheduled program. Take a look at the starting equipment. Start out with a pair of Fendt favorite 511Cs, the Fiat 1300 DT. Our tractor's range in horsepower from 115 to 150. We have the New Holland TX32 harvester with the grain header. Matches the harvester to the HW80 trailer, Polymag 300 plow, and the D830 heater. got a pair of weights, and then we have all of the various buildings that make up the various farms included here in our owned land. Take a look here at the animal pens. Our mods, we can of course place them back down. Play station, custom multi-fruit silo, Missy B's grain quid storage, mods associated with that. Sheds are included with the map, and then the farmhouse. So with that, let's go ahead and get set up for the fly around. We're going to take a look at all of the farms during our fly around. I don't really think we're going to drive around on this particular map today, so be right back. So it's a little disappointing that this map does have the issues with the silage bunkers, because I think visually it's a really nice, appealing looking map. Go ahead and kind of swing down here. Almost. Well, let's swing to the south. And, well, there is something that's going to stand out pretty fast. And that is a giant billboard that is the map PDA. Yeah. That's a little in your face there. I mean, I can see what a lost farmer like driving up here and checking out the PDA, going, where do I need to go again? The only thing missing here is a giant "You Are Here" sign, and here at the bottom. We do have our shop down here. Stop trigger, pair customize, and sell trigger here on the side. This we do have a grain sell point on here. Three sell points down here. Kind of hard to delineate from each other. Got one right there. Sorry about the jerkiness there. Smoother. Another sell point. Right buttons on the keyboard. Another sell point right here. Not really sure what it is because again, these are all really close together. These two are the Perinia Lane, and Venta de Bos. Perinia is milk. Perinia Lane is cotton wool. And we don't see anything about the other listed here. Venta de Bos. Voice. So is that a sell point that's not even, or maybe it is. And so this is Venta de Voice, and it's not on menu. Here we have the log sell point. Back here, nothing is listed that's going to take wood chips. Try your wood chips there, but luck. And that's kind of your frustration, I think, with this map. Is it's just doesn't feel finished. Doesn't feel tested. It feels like it's been, I mean, this is nice. I like this. Always like bridges. Like when you go under bridges, go over bridges, different terrain levels. Just doesn't feel finished. And like I said, play tested. Maybe the map author played it himself and figured it was good. But, you know, what really works to, in my opinion, to playtest things is give the map to someone you trust that has never seen it before. What are their first thoughts when they jump in the map? That's going to be what people think when they jump in the map. Are they going to be confused? They're going to be disoriented. We have another one of those signage bunkers that just doesn't show up. Got a trigger like the other one did, but it just doesn't show up. Here we have another cow area. We've got manure pit around the back. We never found the manure pit at the other farm. Not really sure where that is. I mean, I would have thought this could have been in the manure pit at the other farm. It really has a silage trigger. Got our animal buy trigger here. Our brawl trigger. Of our water trough. Our milk trigger. And then our food trough. Slurry point around front. Fuel station, a little shed, and then this is our farmhouse. I have to say, this is a really fancy farmhouse for being a farmer. Garage. We have this kind of atrium, last atrium area. Farmhouse itself. One of these problems with these door triggers when they're really close together. Got this fancy glass kind of floating staircase. And then got our sleep trigger right here. Really fancy farmhouse. And there's the main farm. Starting farm, or where we started out. Have another grain sell point. This is going to be what is the map author says CUMA. I'm thinking this is kind of an arable area. Just a contracting yard. Maybe that's what CUMA is. V-shaped shed thing going on. Building is interesting. It's just, I don't know. I don't know French, so I don't know what CUMA is or is supposed to be representing. Probably why I feel a little bit lost. And visually, it looks really nice. Just I think it's got a little bit of maybe issue with its playability at the moment. Definitely a map to be looking out for as far as potential updates. And here we have our horse pen. We have a horse delivery point, buy point. 16 horses for this area. Water trough. Our brawl and feed. Have a silo over here. SCB grain quid storage. Liquid and solid storage, liquid and grain. A lot of vehicle storage down here. And I think this is the horse area that has kind of an internal riding rink with it also. Yeah, we got a little bit of a riding area here inside the building. Recently looked at a map that had a really nice building that had kind of a built-in riding area, but you couldn't get in it. Kind of disappointing. Then the last farm we're going to take a look at is here. Is the sheep farm. It has another grain silo. Sheep. 120 sheep here. Food trough. Our wool. And our water trough around the corner. Right here. So guys, that is it. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of the map? Like I said, I get the general opinion that this map is not quite done. It's probably going to have an update. Might have an update fairly quick. And I think once you get some of these finer things figured out, like the non-working silage bunkers, this map could be a pretty fun little map to play on. You want to play on some small equipment and have some really, really cheap fields so you really don't end up being that money strapped. Till next time, happy farming. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell.